Hey everyone, Nick Mataragas, founder and executive director of Memoriam Development. We are in 2026. Now, if you've ever checked our website or just read our description before, you might remember that it starts off with founded in 2016, which means that yes, 2026 is our 10-year anniversary. We're going to have a huge rollout of all kinds of celebratory things, mostly on social media, for you to experience, talking about the 10 years of Memoriam, including me reflecting on a bunch of shows we've done. Just so you know, we've done over 40 original productions in 10 years, which is an amazing to think about, especially when I tell you how this all started. So that's what I'm going to do today, is I'm going to talk about our founding, how Memoriam came to be. And it started back in 2016, in the summer of 2016. I had an internship at a small production company in Los Angeles. I actually went out to Los Angeles for a month to work for this production company for free for an internship. And they were a place that did like reality TV. They produced reality TV shows. They had a couple shows that actually made it to air, including one that I worked on that was briefly on air called Dr. Dex. I think they may have changed the name of the show when it went to air, but it was called Dr. Dex when I was working on it, I believe. And what I was doing there was basically just writing treatments. And if you don't know what a treatment is, it's basically a short description of what a show would be to sell to the big producers, right? And so you'd be like, here's what the show would look like, and this might be the outline of an example episode. And so I was doing that, and at the same time, I had been working in comedy and improv, and I just started learning sketch writing and written on a couple of sketch shows that were produced by the theater I was working at. And I was like, I can do this. I can write ideas for shows and sell it to people. And I knew a bunch of people that could as well. And so I was like, let's do this. Let's start a small company that just does that. We'll just come up with ideas and then sell them. And that was the original idea for Memoriam. If you want to know how the name Memoriam Development came into being, development was based off of that idea of we're developing the idea and then selling it. That's where that term came from. Memoriam came from the fact that I was like, one of these days, one of us is going to create something that's going to get us on the in memoriam reel at the Oscars when we die. Ridiculous, I know, but that was the idea, and that's where the name came from. And so I reached out to some folks that I knew I wanted to work with, and we started meeting basically monthly as a monthly writer's room. And the idea was we would develop these ideas and write either a pilot or a screenplay or a treatment and then sell them. And we started off that way for a few months, and then a couple things happened. One thing is, at the time I was podcasting for a network called the DVMPE, which is a small company that did a lot of what were called at the time fan casts. So I was, talking about episodes of Game of Thrones or Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency when that was on the air, stuff like that. And I wanted to create an original podcast. I created an original podcast called Serial, which was a parody of what was at the time very popular Serial from WBEZ. And I'll actually talk about Serial on its own, but that was the thing that I wanted to do. And I'm like, well, I've already got Memoriam Development as a name, so I threw it on there as one of the production companies of the podcast, along with DVMPE. And right after that, also, I left the theater that I was working at, and one of my first partners in Memoriam, Amanda Davila, had written what she had originally planned to be a sketch, but turned into a scene, and she wanted to turn that into a play. And so she wrote it out into what turned out to be our first theater production, Oh My Gods. And we decided to put that up first at the Elgin Fringe Festival in 2017. I'll talk about Oh My Gods more later, but that was the other thing that was a factor as well, was Fringe. We had experienced our first Fringe festival ever. We went to the Elgin Fringe because somebody told us to go see their show there in 2016. And we experienced the festival, and we were like, we have to do this. We have to make Fringe shows. And so Memoriam quickly went from, we're just going to write a couple things and sell it, to we're going to write things, we're going to make things, but we're going to make them ourselves. And that's what it's been for 10 years, is us creating new content and bringing it to you. And we're really excited to celebrate this 10-year anniversary. You're going to hear from a lot more people other than me, but you're probably going to hear from me a lot as well. We've got some great shows coming up this year. We want to keep cap off the year at the end of the year with a nice 10-year anniversary celebration live for people to celebrate with us. And I'm super excited to see it. So thank you for being a part of Memoriam for however long you have been part of our journey. And we hope to see you for 10 more years. Thank you.